all. Welcome. I'm Richard Martinez, candidate for Trustee Area 6, Central Unified School District, and this is the third in a series of videos, video, audio that I'm putting out for you to get to know me a little bit better on what I want to do in terms of my priorities for the school district, platform, in essence, talking about issues and policies, things that I want to see, things that I want to do, and again, letting you get to know who I am, how I think, and what I want to accomplish. And if when it's all over and done, you choose not to vote for me, then I entirely support your right to do so. I'm also a United States Army veteran, and I didn't sign my name on that piece of paper and raise my hand to an oath to not see someone vote their conscience and vote for what they believe is right. And I fully support your right to do so, even if it isn't for me. Just vote. I'm good with that. That being said, so I am on the ballot, Trustee Area 6, November 3rd. We're down about 18, 19 days. This material's coming out at you because no other candidate and no other board member will do what I'm doing right now. Putting things to you in advance, letting you know exactly what I will and will not do, where I'm at and what I believe. And, as always, when we're done with this particular show tonight, this episode, you'll be able to go to my link at the back end, visit my Facebook page, and contact me directly there if so inclined and if you have more questions. Because there's nothing that I will not answer provided it doesn't harm or hurt anybody and provided it's not illegal. We dealt with that in the last one, and basically if it's something that I cannot address because it's a personnel issue or legally binding according to Brown Act or other violations as a board member, I just won't do it. But I'll let you know that. I'll tell you that. Because always tell the truth. Definitely when it comes to education, right? Education should be easy and simple. It should be neutral. It should be colorblind. It should be beyond politics. There shouldn't be any of the negatives that get association, because when it comes down to it, I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat, left, right, conservative, liberal, green, brown, orange, blue. I don't care if you live in the south of our district or the north of our district. It all doesn't matter to me. What matters is you're a Central Unified student and you deserve a quality education in this district across the board. Everybody deserves that quality of education, no matter where you're from, who you are, who your parents are, or where you grew up. Does not matter to me. Everybody gets the same. Now, again, having said that, there are some things that need to be addressed and we need to seriously take a look at and go forward with a serious plan in board policy, something that I would vote on if I am so privileged to have your vote. We need to vote on and seriously address, think about, talk about, actively get out the things that allow a child to learn at their optimal level. And a big component of that is their social and emotional well-being as a whole. A child that is being battered at home is going to have a difficult time learning because they're in fear. A child that is getting bullied on a consistent basis for no reason other than they are different, whether it be color, ethnicity, background, economic standing, geography, maybe the clothes they wear. That child cannot learn at their optimal level. A student who is different because they think differently or act differently because of their gender or a gender role cannot learn at their optimal level for fear of repercussion, bullying, belittling, being picked on. That child can't learn and will not learn if they are afraid or have fear of others doing things to them. And how do we know that child won't be the next Einstein, the next Marie Curie, the next Newton, next president of the United States, next president of the earth? We'll never know that if that child doesn't get the full benefit of an incredible, not just good, but incredible, premier level education in Central Unified School District. So this is what we need to address as a school district, comprehensively and in writing, ladies and gentlemen. And then once in writing, enacted, not just as a school district and as a system, but as a community. As a community. Because when we act in concert, all of us, only then will we reach our full potential. Learn that in United States Army. You want to accomplish a mission? Get everybody on board with the mission, ladies and gentlemen. Get everybody on board. So let's get started on this. The social and emotional needs, welfare and well-being of a child in our system. We, as a school district, as parents, as community members, as adults, as citizens in this country and in this community, we need to prioritize spending on the hiring of, let's get specific here, nurses, counselors, psychologists, speech therapists, and there are others, but this is a handful, plenty. We're going to talk about this for a second. But there are all these additional things / people and personnel that a student needs to reach their optimal learning potential. And if they don't have those things, they won't reach that optimal learning potential. And that is a waste. That is a waste of a mind. That is a waste of an intellect. That is a waste of a life and their capabilities. First things first. And check this out. Now stay with me. Come with me. Nurses. Now I don't know about you, but I went to Teague Elementary. Those are my nights. Teague Elementary on Polk. It's right in High City. You guys know where it's at. Teague Knights, Golden Green. Love my old school. When I got hurt out on the playground, got beat up a lot. I talked too much and there was always a little scuffle going on. Not bragging about it, just point of fact, right? We're not there anymore and, maybe it was a different world. I wouldn't have got beat up half as much. I was little, kind of scrawny, and I didn't keep quiet when somebody picked on me. You get the point. Bringing it up because it's all true. Don't want to see that anymore because I know we need to address it. I didn't get to my full potential too much later. Can you imagine if I would have got earlier? That would have been even better. So here we go. When I did, say scuffed or got beat up or hurt myself out on the yard, or maybe I just wasn't feeling good. Maybe I got sick. Maybe I had something that others did not. I'd raise my hand or I'd reach to the yard lady. And you know where I'd go? I'd go to the office. You know who was waiting for me in the office? The nurse. The nurse. Okay, that's real simple. She's there because she's a medical professional. And she's there to help take care of the physical ailments, needs, etc. of a child, a student at this elementary, Teague, back then. And maybe you guys had that. But I remember going to the nurse. And here's what I remember. I'd walk in, she'd take care of me, do whatever I had. But when I walked out of there, I felt like I was new, different, and better. She had a smile on her face. She was pleasant. And she provided care to me, for me. She took care of me. And it was good. It was cool. I felt better. Then I can go back and learn. See how that works? Now I can go back and learn at my optimal learning potential because I no longer had a physical ailment, maybe an emotional ailment. The nurses used to take care of that. Comforting words, really nice, really personable. They were positive. They were good people. But my point is, I had a nurse on that campus. In this district right now, there isn't a nurse at every campus. Why don't we have a nurse at every campus? Because we don't prioritize spending on the people that work directly with our students and children. You heard what I said. We spend a lot of money on a lot of things. But why don't we have a nurse at every campus? A speech therapist at every campus? A psychologist? Yeah, even at the middle school and elementary grades. I'm not joking. That's serious business. There are troubled kids in our system that will never reach their full potential because they have things going on at home. They have things going on the street. They have things we don't know about that are hindering them from reaching their optimal learning potential. A psychologist will figure that out. They'll talk to them. They'll comfort them. They'll educate them. They'll teach them. See how that works? So that a teacher in the classroom doesn't have to do that because they have 20-something, 30 kids in a room. Can't just worry about the one only, even though that's part of their job. What if there was someone else that can help with that job? An expert in that field. You get what I'm getting at? Yeah, see how this works? I don't want Mrs. Province from Teague Elementary when I was a sixth grader to have to treat me and my busted knee. Maybe she could, and she would actually. Mrs. Province was like that. I love that lady. She was incredible. But she shouldn't have to. That's not her job. She's not an expert or a specialist in it. I should be able to go to the nurse. I was dealing with in sixth grade the fact that I lost my father. The year prior, in an accident, I no longer had a dad. Troubled, emotionally, beat up in ways that I didn't know till much, much later as an adult. Tore me up. I acted out. I caused problems. I was an issue. I had trouble learning. I was not good. Maybe if there was a psychologist there, she could have helped me. He could have helped me. He could have seen and addressed my issues as someone dealing with loss and pain. That's not bad. That's not weak. That's help and that's strength. If I had had that, a psychologist available to me as a little dude dealing with the loss of a parent, a nurse, a counselor, a speech therapist for people or kids that have trouble with their learning because of speech impediments or other things like it. Not all kids learn the same way. And instead of asking every teacher on the planet to differentiate their instruction 30 different times for 30 different students, why don't we help that teacher by providing them with the resource in the form of personnel that are experts in their fields that can address the needs of those students so they don't have to, so they can still remain on task and teach the majority of their students in a classroom at an optimal teaching level. See how that works? Now this is really, really important. Now I'm not going to stay all day here because we can talk about this for hours. We really can, ladies and gentlemen. The reason I'm bringing it up to you is because I'm aware of it. I was a part of it. And oh yes, I was a teacher as well. I've been in the classroom. I've seen it. I've been a counselor. And in some cases, yes, I've been a nurse. I've helped kids that got hurt. I've helped with language. I've helped with counseling them through tough times. I've helped with getting in their head and keeping them out of trouble. Was that my job? You could make the argument it is. But it probably would have been better if they'd had an expert or a specialist in that field. And then I go back to the class and teach the 29 others. See what I'm getting at? Let's place priority on spending the money where we need it, at the point of contact, student to adult. Whether that be a teacher, a counselor, a psychologist, a nurse, a secretary, a staff member, the lunch lady. I'm fully for and on board with spending money on our people. As I've said before, and you've seen in my other videos, I'm an old soldier. I'm an old infantry squad leader. I will always err on the side of taking care of my people. If I'm going to spend money, I'm going to spend it on the base of what we are, who we are. The people that are day-to-day in contact with our students, the people that are day-to-day relating to, dealing with, understanding of our students. Isn't that a novel concept? Spending money directly on the people that are providing the education for our children? Yeah, novel concept, right? But that's where I'm going. And that's why I want your vote, so I can push that out with an agenda that is like no other that you've ever seen. Priority on spending the money directly on the student in the form of personnel that get them to their optimal learning level. Be clear on that. So again, it's too long to talk about here. We'll leave the link when we finish up here. And I invite you wholeheartedly to talk to me about this very, very important item and issue. Because if we got this right, ladies and gentlemen, we would see immediate gains across the board if we implemented a systemic approach to spending the money on the people that deal directly with our students and get them to their, let's all say it, optimal learning level. Let's do that. Vote for me and help me do that. Vote for me and help you and your child. Lastly, in a comprehensive fashion, in addition to getting a quality, intellectual, stimulating, academic environment and learning situation for our students, social emotional needs, coupled with, and very important here, athletic, extra, and co-curricular activities. Okay? We all know what the athletic is. Kids play a sport, and they should. Okay, I did. I've already said in other videos. I was the captain of our wrestling team. I played football for Dennis Fitzpatrick, who I still love with a bloody passion. Nothing but love for you. Ran track. I did 3 sports, and I loved the sports that I did, and I enjoyed it. It kept me engaged, kept me active, kept me physically fit, and it kept me out of trouble because I was always in trouble, okay? But extra and co-curricular activities, they don't all have to be athletic, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that complements, bolsters, betters, supplements, and makes the learning environment and the learning of that child, the mind of that child better, is a benefit. Let me give you some. Academic decathlon, near and dear to my heart. I was a coach of academic decathlon. No braggadocio, but I need to put it out so it's evidence so you understand who I am. I still hold the highest one-year recorded gain in Fresno County history, an academic decathlon. Still there, 20-something years later, 20 years later. Why? Because I gave my kids everything they can possibly handle in bettering their learning environment. I was tooth and nail about it. I want to be tooth and nail about it here. Let's give kids everything they need. Academic decathlon. We got academic decathlon. When they were younger, my kids did, there was Odyssey of the Mind. There's robotics now. We had speaking competitions. There are essay competitions. All these things are not athletic, but they're extra and co-curricular, and they benefit the learning environment. They bolster and comprehensively better the mind of the child by stimulating their brain and their intellect in multiple ways to get them to be a better learner. It keeps them engaged. It keeps them involved. Idle hands, you know the tale. You don't want idle hands. You want busy hands. Busy hands are good, little guys, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Keep them active, they'll learn. You keep them learning, they'll only improve. There won't be trouble because they're too busy doing good trouble. Beating the heck out of Clovis Unified athletically. Maybe finally catching up to University High and Edison in academic decathlon. Yeah, how about that? That's what I want. I want to see that. Point overall is, let's give the kids what they need by prioritizing the spending on the things that directly affect our students. Personnel and programs that benefit their mind. Athletic, extra, and co-curricular. All of the above. I'm going to stop there because there's a lot, but I'm going to say it again. I fully invite you to join me in conversation. Direct message me. Message me through Facebook. Take a look at this lower corner here because I don't do it too often, but to do that, after you watch this, you're going to say to yourself, like, I think I'm going to vote for this guy because this guy's putting it all on the table. He's clearly honest. He clearly knows what he's doing. And I will say that. Let's put that on the table. I am the most prepared, the most qualified, the most experienced, the most capable, the most ready, the most intellectually aggressive, the most energetic, and I definitely have the most time to commit and give to my community. My kids are out of the house. I don't have grandkids yet, waiting a little bit, but I got a lot of time and energy to spend on my community and the kids in it. Help me help you and yours by addressing these pertinent issues of the social and emotional needs of the students in this community. And ladies and gentlemen, you'll watch these kids thrive, and if you do, if you help me do that, get me elected and watch me. You help me do that, and you're going to see massive, almost immediate gains within a year, 2, 3, 4. And if I don't get it done in 3 to 4, I'll leave. How many politicians say that? Yeah, you heard what I said. And you know the difference because I mean it. If I can't get the job done, I'll leave. Because in my world, in the military world, if you can't accomplish the mission, then you get out of the way and let someone who can accomplish the mission. Yeah, I said that. I'm not your typical politician. Hell, I'm not even a politician. Just trying to be a public servant serving my community. 30 plus years of country and community. That's where I'm at. Last chance, last call. Here's the link right here. Go to the Facebook page. If you have any questions for me, serious, legit questions about education in this community, I'd love to talk to you about them. Give me a call. I'm here for everybody, not just Trustee Area 6. I'm for everybody. Okay? I've lived in multiple parts of our district before there were boundaries. I don't think that way. I think about everybody's children, regardless of where they are. I just want to see everybody get the same shake. Okay? So message me here at this link. Free to answer or ask any question, provided it's to do with education and it's legit and you're not playing games, and we get that too. All right? But I will gladly have that discussion with you. Most importantly, like I said, vote Martinez on November 3rd And you're going to want to see what I do, if for anything else. And if I don't get the job done, you heard what I said, I'll walk out and move on. I don't believe in staying in a mission that I can't accomplish. That's a soldier's mentality. I stay with that 30 years later. Never changed for me. Number love for you. Vote November 3rd, Richard Martinez, Central Unified School District, Trustee Area 6.